The Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya is situated near the Bhopal lake. It is perhaps the only museum in the world where a series of original painted rock shelters exist as a part of the museum presentation. The city of Bhopal, capital of the state of Madhya Pradesh in central India, nestles in the folds of the Vindhyachal mountain ranges. The Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya is dedicated to the portrayal of the multifaceted story of mankind. It is also engaged in the documentation, popularization, and research relating to rock art. There are several series of rock shelters which were formed due to deposits of sand and round pebbles caused by floods before man walked on the earth. These overhanging rocks were destined to be found by man and put to use for habitation and self-expression. The rock paintings present variety and yet have some features in common. In fact, the rock shelters seem to be part of the larger geological formation in the region.
Here we find mostly two types of sedimentary rocks, conglomerate and sandstone. The rocks we find here around this rock shelter belong to Vindhyan supergroup of rocks, and they were deposited here about 800 to 1000 million years back. The conglomerates, they were brought here by river system, streams, and deposited in a basin. We find number of these rounded polished pebbles. During transportation, this material was rounded, polished, and dumped in that basin. Whereas these sandstones, they are completely finer sediments, and they were deposited layer by layer, one above other. Now these different layers, they had different degree of compaction and different hardness. So they were, while this process of erosion, some got eroded more, some got eroded less. And those which got eroded less, they form these overhangs. In these shelters, we find overhangs of more resident rock beds, and around Bhopal, a similar set, means alternating sandstone and conglomerate, forming similar overhangs. They have been used by this prehistoric man for his painting.
One of the earliest examples of man's artistic expression relate to prehistoric times. Primitive drawings in different earth colors and in several superimposed layers have been found on the walls and ceilings of caves or rock shelters in various parts of the world. These are popularly known as rock paintings or rock art. The greatest merit of these rock paintings is that they present vivid pictures of the lifestyles, technical progress, and interaction among societies from the Stone Age to early historic times. To an anthropologist, rock art is not simply an art, but an artifact of communication. Rock art contains information about a culture. It opens a graphic window on ways of life that have long since vanished. As no direct evidence is available, no clear relationship of the cultural remains found from the floor deposits with that of the paintings on the rock surfaces can be established authoritatively. All information other than that conveyed by the paintings themselves are guesswork. So far, no method is known to scientists that can give an absolute date to these ancient rock paintings. As the site is situated near the city of Bhopal, these shelters had frequent visitors. They not only destroyed the ecology of the area, but also mutilated the paintings by overwriting. This was the state of affairs when the museum took possession of the site. Some of the rarest paintings are housed in shelters in the museum premises. The paintings depict animals, both solitary and in groups. There are also human figures, some of them shown in stick form. These human figures are stylized and drawn deftly in single strokes by the authors of these paintings. They were probably using these shelters not just for living, but also for ritual purposes. Possibly some of the caves were shrines of some kind. Mineral and earth colors, abundantly available in the vicinity of the rock shelters, have been used for the paintings. Red ochre, commonly known as geru, is still used by the villagers to paint their houses. In continuation of the tradition of rock painting, Gufa Maser is one of the sites in central India which possesses a rich variety of the earliest paintings in the region. The village of Gufa Maser is located about 40 minutes walk from the nearest township of Gyaraspur in Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh. The village is situated at the foot of two adjoining hills, where over 100 rock shelters exist. The site contains traces of some of the earliest paintings. The earliest paintings are large, solitary depictions of animals rendered in both green and red together. The paintings have been done on the same rock surface again and again in different styles and possibly by different artists at different times. Those lying underneath and closest to the rock surface must obviously have been the earliest. They were dependent on Stone Age technology to sustain themselves by exploiting the flora and fauna in the surrounding area. Some scenes depict the methods of driving and hunting of animals by man as a group activity. The same site in later times may have been occupied by pastoralists. The scenes in the rock paintings show man's concern for certain species of animals. The man-animal relationship in almost all sites dominates any other theme of this age. Over the earliest faded paintings is also seen a procession of domestic animals. Their bodies are decorated as if celebrating the possession of livestock by a people whose livelihood was dependent on domestic animals. Their concern being animals, there was a tendency to devote more attention and effort to the figurization of animals rather than human beings. Human beings are portrayed in stylized stick figures, as found in many other sites as well. The Gufa Maser site was probably at a later point of time occupied by a people who inscribed highly decorative scripts on the rock surface. Possibly they were reflections of the Buddhist or other contemporary religious cults. The paintings of both hunters and food gatherers and pastoral populations show many scenes related to their daily life. In this respect, the paintings of Gufa Maser show some resemblance to those at Katotia. Katotia village is situated 20 kilometers to the south of Bhopal city. Katotia is an important rock art site as far as the diversity and the richness of the paintings are concerned. Ever since I have come to this place, I have been seeing these paintings. People from outside come and photograph them. There are different types of paintings and they are very beautiful. One wonders who has made them, or were they made by themselves?
मैं बचपन से यहीं रहता हूँ और कम से कम 50 साल की उम्र में और इसके पहले
I have been staying here ever since my birth. I am 50 years old. My ancestors had always been saying that these paintings have been there for thousands of years. They are very, very good artistic paintings which are almost permanent. They cannot be washed away. They have been made by man and not some ghost or anything of that sort. The hill above Katothia village has numerous rock shelters, and in most of them are preserved galleries of a timeless art. There are hundreds of rock paintings. A few paintings of the early phase suggest that the artist laid emphasis on the exploitation of aquatic animals. The paintings vividly depict not only aquatic animals, but also amphibians and reptiles. The paintings also illustrate cooperative endeavor. A number of persons are shown in various domestic activities suggestive of a band or group of people. The participation of a large number of male figures, as if in a dance, indicates the importance of the male in the group. The rock paintings of central India exist with us as a cultural heritage of mankind's past. It does not matter very much if they have not been dated exactly. These are works of art for us to enjoy together with other art traditions. Indeed, both the cultures of the past and the present remain simultaneously valid and alive.